Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am here with my good friend Joe Petito of JP Custom Leatherworks. Joe, how you doing, bud?
Good man. How are you?
I'm great. All right, so let's get right into it. How did you get started with what you're doing?
I became a fireman in 2013, and in the fire service we use a lot of leather gear. It's kind of a tradition, and I needed some gear, and rather than buying it, I decided to make it. Made a few things, and kind of was a hit in the firehouse. A bunch of friends started asking for stuff. I started making it, and long story short, it just kind of snowballed. At the time, I owned a facility maintenance company. I was doing maintenance in warehouses, working on forklifts, that kind of stuff, and I hated it. The opportunity came up to work with my hands and do something I actually enjoyed, and just started doing it in the off hours. Get home from work, go in the basement, hammer away, make leather gear. And after about 4 years, I started doing it full time, and it's history from there.
Nice. So you saw a need to make a better product.
Yep.
You made it, you enjoyed it, and you're like, hey, maybe I should give this thing a try.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. That's how all great businesses start, my friend.
Yep.
So, and that being said, I mean, I have your stuff all over the place. Like the belt that you made is my favorite belt. It
I
actually
appreciate it.
holds up. The mouse pad's solid. Like I can absolutely 100% vouch for this. This was solid work.
Thanks, brother.
So how did you get started? Meaning, like, take us through the first steps of getting started. Like, were there tools, inventory, website? Like, what was that process like? If you can remember that far back.
Yeah, man. So actually, I remember it very clearly. It was pretty cool. It turns out the strap I originally wanted was about 150 bucks. So rather than just buying that, I actually sold an old car I had and took $700 from that. Some gift cards I had laying around and literally just bought. I was broke at the time. So literally took every penny I could and bought one side of leather and all the hand tools, like a bottle of dye, everything I needed to what I thought to start making it. And yeah, it's been like just a never ending process since then. But
Yeah.
yeah, sold the car. I bought about $600 worth of tools and leather and watched a bunch of YouTube videos, read some books, some blogs, and here we are.
Nice. And you just moved into a new facility?
Yeah, we actually signed the lease last June.
Mhm.
In September, we opened up our first retail storefront. Prior to that, we were operating out of my garage and basement. So it's a big upgrade. Definitely a huge learning curve, just dealing with customers one on one now. In person, it's so much different than obviously email, phones, and all that. We were 100% e-com before that. So just a big learning experience. And on top of that, we dealt mostly with first responder gear prior to moving into the store. Now we're dealing with everything from holsters and sheaths to people bringing in shoes and jackets for repairs. So we do a little bit of everything now.
Okay, that's cool. So, and by the way, Amazon started in a garage. All right.
Yeah.
So just think about that.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. All right, cool. So you get your website up, you're working out of the garage, all e-com. When you transitioned, like what were some of the challenges that you would say in transitioning from e-com to actually building a brand and having a retail location?
Um, so everything that we do is handmade. So, our retail store is all of our products. We don't have anything that's like, we're not reselling anything. So coming up with the products themselves that the general public would be able to use, because obviously we're not going to have fire, EMS, and police walking in every day.
Yeah.
So coming up with those products and then, figuring out what worked best for a majority of people. And we're still learning. Like we're still literally pushing new products every week just to see what's a hit, what's not. Some of the stuff that I thought was going to be a huge hit, we turned around and made, I don't know, 50, 60 pieces of for the storefront, and we still have all of them. So,
Okay.
some of it flopped, some of it was a hit, and, we just have to push that stuff out. But just learning what, the customer base wants compared to what we thought was going to be. And like I said, the retail space is totally different because everything we've done prior to the storefront was fire and EMS for the most part. So it's a learning curve, but figuring that out is hardest part so far.
Okay. How do you? Let me ask you this, and this is just us brainstorming here. Have you sent an email to your clients like, "Hey, what do you want more of? What do you like?"
So it's kind of funny because the demographics in our town, 90% of people are over the age of 65.
Okay.
So most of them don't do email. A lot of them don't even like giving their address. They're all cranky old men for the most
Okay.
part. So, they're all great guys, but they're old school. So, more or less everything that we've learned has been conversations in store. We take the time to sit down and talk with every customer that comes in and, figure out what they're interested in. And it's a different kind of, how should I say it? They're looking for, they want to repair everything.
Okay.
So trying to figure out what we can do to repair what they have rather than replace is a totally different ball game, but we're kind of trying to adapt to that. We've also found that a lot of our customer base is looking for motorcycle gear, which is something we haven't thought about in the past. But now we're kind of opening our eyes to that category and looking at different products. We actually just got an embroidery machine, which I know we spoke about a while back. But we're going to be doing patches, custom handmade patches for customers that come in, embroidery on jackets, sweatshirts, all that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
we're just adapting to the needs of the community.
Dude, I love it. Love it. What do you think are some of the best lessons that you've learned being an entrepreneur?
Just adapting and overcoming. It's been one of those things. I've always been horrible with discipline and procrastination. And, I've done a bunch of different things. 75 hard is one of them. I know you're in the process of that now too. Or for a few times anyway, but, it's just, adapting to things as they come at you. It's like stuff you don't even see coming hits you. And it's like, you just got to figure it out and keep moving.
Yep.
And, definitely makes you better for it.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go over some mistakes. What are some of the mistakes that you made as a business owner?
So many.
You're like, we don't have the time, dude.
We don't. So the field that we're in is totally different than what most businesses deal with. We do everything we do is custom, with the exception of the stuff we're now doing the storefront. So anytime we have an online order for fire EMS, it's all made to order. So figuring out the systems to make everything scale was the hardest part. We literally make changes every single day to try to make the process smoother and faster. Up until a year and a half ago, it was just me in my garage. We're up to 6 employees now. So trying to take those skills of hand making these items and teach those skills to the employees and keeping that same quality has been extremely hard. And with learning that has come a lot of failure. So, falling behind, missing deadlines, that kind of stuff was just very, very difficult. And then one of the biggest failures we had was actually kind of ironic because it was also one of the best things that ever happened. Right at the start of COVID, everyone was kind of panicking. I'm sure, you knew the feeling, worrying what was going to happen. So, we started stocking up on material just in case, preparing, and, started just figuring out what we can do if things go bad. And business skyrocketed. So one of the things that I failed to realize was that most of our customer base was first responders, which was essential employees. So every one of our customers was working overtime. So we blew up. But with that blow up also came we weren't able to hire. Like nobody wanted to work. Like everyone was scared. We worked out of our house, so people were even more sketchy with it.
Yeah.
And so that workload fell on me, and just my inability to, basically get the people on board and handle the situation properly just really put us in the hole. And we had like a 12-week lead time at the time, and we got up to almost 30 weeks behind. And it was really, really bad for a little bit. But, we worked through it, figured everything out, made it work.
Nice.
So just adapting. That's it.
No one said it was easy, right?
No.
You just get numb to it and keep moving forward as best we can.
Put your head down, find solutions.
Yeah, man. I love hearing this stuff. So it's mostly, I would say, a retail business. Any business to business aspect of it?
What was that?
Any business to business aspect of it?
Yeah, we do. I'd say about 10% of our sales are direct to fire departments.
Okay.
We don't do a lot of B2B. More or less, it's to departments, which I mean technically is a business, but it's more government contract type stuff.
Got it. Okay. And how has supply chain impacted you guys right now? Are you feeling that at all or no?
We were for a while. So we try to keep as much of our materials US made. We're a big, American made company. We like keeping everything, in the US. So all of our leather comes from tanneries in the US, Kentucky, PA. We keep it local. They experienced a lot of issues with lack of manpower. So, leather that usually took 1 or 2 weeks to get was up to 3 months at one point. So, basically we had enough on hand to get through that tough time. And then we keep 3 months of leather on hand at all times. So, hardware was a little more difficult because a lot of that is from overseas.
Yeah.
So, we still experience issues with that once in a while, but, same thing. We just keep enough on hand to get us through 2 to 3 months of, issues if we have them, and just stay prepared.
How much has prices in just raw goods, salaries, everything gone up?
Yeah. So, a lot of the companies are trying to keep their prices down, and they're doing everything they can to do that. So, what they've been doing, rather than raise their prices, they've just been adding a temporary fee to all of the order processes. So, it's hurting us a little bit. We've noticed big hikes in the past few months. Hardware hasn't changed too much, but leather has definitely gone up quite a bit. Okay. So, we try not to raise our prices too much, but gets to a point where you have to.
Got it. What are some of the most popular things that you guys make? Still emergency services?
Yeah, emergency service stuff. We do radio straps. Basically, that's our biggest ticket item. It's basically just a strap that holds a radio for fire and EMS. So that, we do a lot of belts, a lot of notebooks, things like that. We're starting to do a lot of custom engraved items. So tumblers, pretty much cutting boards, anything really. Customers bring stuff in and we do it.
Nice. And walk me through like your marketing. So if a lot of people in your area are tough, they don't want to give out an email or let alone an address.
Yeah.
How do you work around that? Is it
word
just
of mouth.
Signage? Yeah, word of mouth.
Word of mouth, yeah. Like everything around us is a small town, kind of tight knit. Everybody talks. So, everyone at the bingo hall on Wednesday nights, they sit there and just they talk. So 90% of our walk-in customers are just word of mouth.
Okay. Yeah, that's similar to me. Have you tried marketing?
Yeah, so we do marketing for our online stuff. We haven't locally just because of the demographics. And, we found that a lot of the walk-in customers are looking for things that we're not able to offer right now. So we're trying to broaden our, our offerings before we start going hard with the local marketing. Right now, with what we're doing, we're covering what we need to cover, and then our online sales are carrying us. Big part of us getting the retail space was just getting out of the garage, and we were actually looking for a warehouse. But it turns out in our area, a warehouse is more expensive than a storefront. I don't know how that happens, but
really?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of shopping malls around us that they've been vacant for a long time. So we were able to get a pretty good deal compared to, a warehouse space. And
Okay.
luckily, the landlords here were pretty cool, and we were able to work it in where we were able to set up our manufacturing part in the back of the store, and we have it set up so that when a customer walks in, they can actually see the whole process. So we have basically a divider wall in the middle. But when they come in, they can see us working. They see all the machines operating, everything being made. So it's kind of a cool experience as well.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you documented that?
Nope. No, we've made a few posts and stuff like that, but it's actually something that
Dude, like this whole time, as much as this is an interview,
mhm.
we're gonna be doing this again on Friday in that group because
Okay.
I'm gonna rip this apart and
Okay.
lay out a blueprint, like a blueprint. Because I wish we had this conversation earlier, and I actually apologize. We should have because
Mhm.
I have so many ideas in my head. Because what you do is so cool.
Yeah.
Like I can't take a picture or a video of me throwing money at somebody, right?
Yeah.
But you have a really cool product,
Mhm.
okay? That a lot of people they'd love to see how it's made. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
so you get a lot of eyeballs on this really quick.
Yeah, that's one thing we actually I just invested in some cameras and stuff, and the next month or so we're going to be going hard on just taking videos of the process of everything we do. For social we're going to be posting a lot from basically every process from when we get the side of leather, cutting it up, to stamping it, stitching it, painting it, assembling it, the whole nine. So yeah, we're excited for that. We actually just got our camera yesterday. We set it up today and started making content. So it's gonna be
Nice.
cool.
I love it. What were some of the best business books that you've read that you've implemented in your business?
Um, Man, there's a lot of them. I gotta say, relationships first. Emily Frisella, that's been one that's really kind of impacted me as far as customer service. It's one of my favorites that I've read recently. I just finished Winning and Relentless by Tim Grover. I did those
Okay.
back to back. They were awesome. Little off the topic of business, but right in there. Um, Man, I can't think of any right now, but those are the three most recent and liking them.
Okay. Where trying to think what the best way is to phrase this. So if you had a little bit of advice for anybody that's starting a retail business, because essentially that's what you have, right?
Mhm.
What would you say the top, let's say, three things are?
Top three. Well, I guess it would kind of depend on what kind of product you're dealing with. Um, if it's going to be some type of custom product, definitely getting a system in place to streamline the process of start to finish. Making everything uniform. That's one big ticket thing. Um, we're still doing the process, honestly. So we're still learning. It's only been a couple months.
Okay.
We're trying to diversify a little bit as far as product wise.
Okay.
Getting different products in. We're actually looking at starting to deal with flashlights and things like that now because fire EMS, you always need a flashlight. There's a couple certain brands that we work with, and we're trying to get some of their stuff in our stores. Just different products and that's all I got.
All right. No worries.
Still
Hey,
learning.
so let everybody know where they can find you, especially if they want to order something, because I don't vouch for a lot of people, but I will vouch for you. The shit that you sent me was next level, and I didn't know you made holsters, so I'm gonna call you after this. I'm gonna need something for a Glock 19.
Absolutely, man. We got a blue gun ready to go for it, so I got you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So our Instagram and Facebook for the business is at JP Custom Leather. My personal Instagram is jpetito33, and my Facebook is Joe Petito.
Cool, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'll buzz you, guys. Please, like check this company out. Check out Joe. Solid individual. Makes great stuff. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one. Take care. Thanks for having me.